Howdy, dweebs! A few weeks ago, I sent out a survey about when people think Cedar Point's coasters will close, and 109 people gave honest responses in the form of a scale from 2020 to 2060. I took the average of these results and came up with a sequence of death dates for each coaster at Cedar Point. And I will say the main takeaway of this video is more of the sequence itself, which coasters will die first, which ones will die last, then the actual death date itself, so keep that in mind. Now, I do have links below if I have a live survey going on, as well as my Discord where you can download the full results, as well as the NoLimits 2 park I use for this wonderful countdown video. Without further ado, let's go to the first coaster on the chopping block. A death date of August 7th, 2028, on average, from you viewers. Despite the average guess of 2028 from those viewers of mine, it likely will be removed earlier. Many cite high maintenance costs for a relatively unpopular attraction that really can enjoy much greater attention elsewhere. Speculation says it will be relocated, with 85% of respondents believing it will be relocated, and 59% believe it will be relocated to another Cedar Fair park, likely Great America, with the master plan docs from a few years ago referencing an impulse coaster very much alike to Wicked Twister.
Cedar Creek Mine Ride.
With a death date of September 13th, 2029 for my viewers average. Relying on its family appeal, can it overcome its age and small stance in the park to survive for many more years to come? Its support structure can be demanding to carpentry, and many point to its prime real estate in Frontier Town, with it, along with antique cars, opening up a large plot of land.
Iron Dragon.
With a death date of December 29th, 2031 for my survey average. Like the mine ride, it relies on its family appeal, with many claiming it as the park's most popular family coaster. Aero-suspended coasters have a relatively low lifespan, but its low forces may give the structure less stress and a longer useful life. Utilizing the park's forested interior, its removal likely would cause a great scar of openness, much like the Kings Island Vortex plot.
Corkscrew.
With a death date of March 5th, 2032 from viewers like you is corkscrews. They're iconic. They're over the park's midway, likely saving it from the wrecking ball in years past. But now with Vortex being gone, many look onto corkscrew as the next target after Anaconda, and perhaps as corkscrews may get the Alton Towers corkscrew treatment. While some hope that the ride will get a retrack akin to Python at Efteling to give it many more years of service life.
Jiminy.
With a death date of January 1st, 2033. Now, keep that in mind as we go down this list, things will become more shocking. Gemini is a beloved coaster at Cedar Point, but doesn't have enough status for the park to keep it indefinitely. The ride wins in capacity, and the park will have interest in retaining it as long as it can fill its trains. However, the ride does make up a big footprint as a prime location for a future massive roller coaster may just make Cedar Point remove it.
Junior Wilderness Run.
With a death date of July 21st, 2038. It's an old kiddie coaster, so will Cedar Fair have interest in replacing it with a more modern kids coaster? Well, there are no signs of it leaving soon, but will it take much for Cedar Fair to justify its removal?
Rougarou.
With a death date of June 5th, 2039, the former Mantis, many see it as a relatively unpopular ride at Cedar Point, despite its great size. It's an easy pick for relocation, and much like Wicked Twister, it may better serve another park, with 54% believing in relocation, 37% of which to another Cedar Fair park. But the reliability of B&M and its recent renovation may give ample reason for Cedar Fair to keep it as is for years to come.
Woodstock Express.
With a death date of August 27th, 2039. It is yet another kiddie coaster, and many expect Woodstock to outlive Wilderness Run at the park, as it is the younger of the two kiddie coasters. But there's really no reason for Camp Snoopy to have a large enough shakeup to cause the removal of Woodstock, and as the park only has 2 kiddie coasters out of 17 total coasters, we likely will see another kids coaster as opposed to a removal of one.
Magnum XL200.
With a death date of July 14th, 2041. A fate that few want to see, including myself, the removal of this great aero giant. An iconic ride, it is seeing its age, with its sister ride in the UK receiving extensive retracking. So soon, Cedar Fair will be faced with a decision to retain the ride, but only with rising maintenance costs and likely required retrack to really keep that ride structurally sound. And that vortex removal thing, that has many to question the future of Cedar Fair aero coasters, but this one does feel safe at the moment due to its significance and its continued popularity.
Blue Streak.
With a death date of January 31st, 2042, the park's oldest coaster, many can point to its age alone as suspect for removal, but the ride's short stature and simple design may lend it many more decades of operation. The coaster and its iconic top hat roof may just need its occasional retrack and continued maintenance to keep it living for many years.
Top Thrill Dragster.
With a death date of November 29th, 2042. As the park's most visible attraction, few can imagine Cedar Point without it. And while Kingda Ka can be transformed into a drop tower support structure, Dragster as a standalone attraction may be removed altogether.
Raptor.
What's the sky? With a death date of January 15th, 2047. It is a reliable ride that still draws crowds despite its 25 plus years of operation. That being said, B&M inverted coasters do not have an infinite life, and Cedar Point will be faced with a choice to remove it or renovate it, and it may go with a decision similar to Islands of Adventure.
Maverick.
With a death date of January 15th, 2052. A ride that many want to exist indefinitely. With its multiple launches, a tense relationship with its manufacturer, and the reliability, could this be enough for removal? Well, that being said, I think me, as well as many others, have faith that it will be operating for many more decades.
Valron.
With a death date of April 8th, 2052. As one of the park's newest coasters, many see it staying for a long time, especially with no apparent reliability concern that causes doubt of its longevity. The ride itself, well, is a crowd pleaser, is a capacity monster, and has good reliability by design, as Cedar Fair was safe and calculated when it made its move to build this ride. The death date of July 17th, 2052. Much like Valraven, Gatekeeper is a new, reliable crowd pleaser and capacity monster. Serving as part of the front gate, there is no question that this ride will be staying for many years to come. Now, we are down to the top 2. Steel Vengeance and Millennium Force. Well, before we get into those two, let's look at some of the non-coaster rides first to see how they pull in removal. And as you can see from all these numbers and graphs, Snake River Falls and Matterhorn are the two being eyed for removal soon, while poll respondents have a very large faith in Maxair and Skyhawk existing for a very long time. I, for one, believe Cedar Downs will outlive all of them. Now, for the top two, who will survive the longest? Steel Engines, Millennium Force? Well, the winner is Millennium Force. But let's first talk about Steel Vengeance. As the park's newest coaster, and certainly an incredibly popular attraction, it has been beating polls everywhere as the world's best roller coaster. That being said, it is not an easy ride for maintenance, with many stating its burden on carpentry. Regardless, few really see it leaving anytime soon. It's going to be a ride that's going to stay for quite some time. Now moving on to Millennium Force with its death date of May 19th, 2054. Ranked in years past as the world's best coaster, just like Steel Vengeance, you don't doubt it. It fights Gatekeeper now for the title of... It now fights Gatekeeper for the title as the park's greatest crowd pleaser with its large capacity and satisfaction from riders. If the racetrack becomes structurally questionable in the future, many see a retrack as the park's likely choice over removal. But, if by happen chance it does get removed, I dearly hope Indiana Beach buys it. Alright, dweebs, well, that kind of wraps everything up. All nice and tight. Well, as I said before, I have a link below if I have a live survey, and also my Discord link below, where you can download the full results of this poll, as well as the NoLimits 2 park that I use for the background stuff. So, as usual, please unsubscribe. I really would not watch any more videos of mine. This one is a pretty serious ripoff of a certain prominent YouTuber that ends with 14. And go ahead and dislike this video. Tell your friends to stay away from this channel at all costs. And that Discord server, just hop in there, download everything, and just get out of there as quick as possible. Because I really do not recommend going on there for a long period of time. Alright, well, that's everything for today, and very long video indeed. So all I gotta say is, God bless America.